Mr. Ali is here in tribute to Black History Week. And being Black History Week, we black folk are real proud of him, as you can see. They follow him like bees following honey. So you know he's with us and we are dead with him to the end, as they say, to the bitter end. I'd like to introduce to the press and the news media the founder of this bank, the one and only Mr. Emerald Grant. Mr. Emerald Grant. Later, Mr. Grant will give you a resume on his contribution to the ghetto. First from Watts, then to this beautiful enterprise on Crenshaw Boulevard. Next, I would like to introduce you, on my left, the manager and vice president, Mr. Bowden. Bob to us. Bob Bowden. And of course, who needs to introduce Mr. Muhammad Ali? Just his presence alone, you don't even have to open an eye, just you know he's here. So I would like to say he is our king. Mr. Bowden, would you like, or Mr. Grant, would you like to make a small for the press, the reason and why we are here gathered here today? Please, Mr. Grant.
Well, we came to welcome the champ, which we're very proud to have him. This being Negro History Week, this helps to make history for Family Savings and Loan Association. We create employment, we make loans in our vicinity, and the only way we can do it is to have money from somebody, somewhere.
Hand over to you, it's in this pocket. A check. To show you his good faith, he's about to make a contribution. Mr. Ali, will you please?
I'd like to start off with $2,000 here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody give Mr. Ali a big hand. Now, don't all you people rush up here and put your money in this bank. We know you're going to do it sooner or later, but don't stampede us today. We don't have the help to handle all your money, but come tomorrow. Mr. Muhammad Ali, please address the
And I have another friend here, a great baseball star, Mr. Junior Gilliam, who I'm sure...
Come on in. Come on in, Junior.
He gave me a call, nothing's happened. Okay. He's looking to see if I got scratches. I'm cool. He called me to tell me he was coming to make his deposit.
He's always had a deposit here.
Been here a long time. How you doing, sir? Oh, you've been here a long time.
Oh, yeah. Our bank manager. How you doing?
No, I just want to say I'm glad to be here. Thanks to Brother Al Patton, who came to Las Vegas a couple of days before the St. Valentine's Day massacre. And he asked me, could I come? Really, I was due in San Diego today. I'm signing to fight Ken Norton, number 6 contender in the world, the 31st of next month. We have another major bout. And I was due there today at 11 o'clock. But I considered this more important, so I made them wait until tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll have that press conference. So that's how much I thought about coming, and I'm glad to be here. I've also been a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the preacher of black freedom, justice, and equality to our people here. We've just established a black bank, owned and operated also in Chicago. And this is why I'm here to encourage the people of this area to support this bank, because we want them to do the same out there in the Chicago area and soon throughout the nation, because unity is what black people need. And anything that's talking about black people uniting, pooling the resources, education, qualifications for self-independence, then I'm number one to be on the list. So I'm glad to be here, and I hope others support the thing, even if it's just $1, anything, because I'm with it 100%. Thank you.
I have another athlete here, Mr. Whitley Lewis. Mr. I am asking you, and if you find time in your busy schedule to come back to LA someday in the near future before you knock out Foreman, we will be happy to have you here.
Thank you. Well, as soon as I find a date, talk to the managers, and as soon as I find the clearing, I'll be glad to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. Any questions from the press? Now we will acknowledge questions from the press. If you don't know Mr. Hawkins, this is Tom Hawkins, an ex-Laker, and now he's a news with Channel 2. Am I right, Mr. Channel 4?
2+2.
2+2.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my first mistake this year. 2+2. Thank you, Mr.
Right.
Hawkins.
Yes, we all acknowledge Muhammad Ali's greatness as a fighter, but what is his goal individually as far as making a significant contribution to the black race?
Well, financially, there's nothing I can do as far as making a contribution to the black race. No one black man, individual, or movement can, because we have about 30 million people here. And if I gave each person $1, it really wouldn't do that much help. And I'll never see 30 million or even 5 million clear after taxes. So financially, I don't have a quarter to help the people as a whole. But I think the best thing, not only myself, but all black celebrities can do, number one, is when they get black, to marry their own black people. See? And stay out of movies which promote dope and nudity and hugging on women of all nationalities other than their own, which brainwashes the masses. This is the major problem. And to do all they can to stand up regardless to, if it means give up every quarter, every dime. See, I follow the boldest black man in America, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I wear his rings, the Islamic flag. I got his picture on here. And I preach it wherever I go. Black separation, unite, do something for yourself, marry your own women. Anything against black people in any kind of way. No Uncle Tom and no shuffling. I'm the highest paid athlete, the most popular in the world. I don't have no bosses that are white or nobody. So the best thing I think that black people can do as a contribution is when they get on top to stay with their own kind, accept your own kind, and talk for the little people who don't nobody know nothing about. See? So that's my contribution. It's not really a burden, it's really a pleasure to be one from among 30 million black people who's raised in Louisville, Kentucky, just another nigga catching hell, working every day, and all of a sudden have a good physical power and able to speak in the world, listen. It ain't no burden. That's the trouble with black people. Whenever they get a position or whenever they get into something, they want to look at it like it's a burden. People go to Vietnam and die for something that they shouldn't be dying for. The Japanese, World War II, they had planes called suicide missions. They knew they would die, but they ran the plane right into the ship. He knew for his death, he'll kill 20 more. Everybody's always fighting and dying and giving up something for the freedom of their people, but the so-called Negroes. If one thing he's gonna lose some money or lose his job on the airport or his job at the radio or the television station or at the bank or wherever his job might be, then if he think he's gonna lose it, so standing up for somebody else, first thing he says, let them niggas make it like me, man. I gotta watch out for myself. Black people caught hell so long, very few of them get a lot of money, very few of them can be famous or be a fighter, be a movie star, be a ball player. There's thousands of them out there today can't pay the rent, can't buy carpets to the house, can't buy the wife a dress, can't feed the children, can't find a job, ain't catching nothing but hell. And we one or two niggas who made it. So it ain't no burden standing up and doing something to help our people who are badly in need of it, because don't nobody else claim us. The Africans don't want you. The white folks don't want you. And don't nobody want the so-called Negroes. If it means I got to run into a machine gun, if it means I got to give up all my cars, my houses, give up all the money I'm making, if one thing against what I believe of black people, if they redraft me again, I'll go to jail. I don't care what they do. After Nixon loses his job, even the president don't have a few years to remain. You don't stay up long in this country. The system's built. So as soon as we can get on top, if we can take all this fame and all this power, if you could get James Brown and the Jackson 5 and the Temptation and Sammy Davis and Red Fox and Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier and Flip Wilson, get them all talking like me, we be free tomorrow. Right! Right on! Free tomorrow! All right. Phone, baby, don't stop. No, so that's all I'm saying. If we can get all our big black people, I mean the big money makers, want to draw these thousands of crowds to just stand up and say, damn the money, damn the television, damn it all. I'm with my people. We catching hell, and you treat them bad, you treat me bad. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it. We be free tomorrow. So that's why I feel I own the black people. Our God has blessed me to be the most popular celebrity worldwide in the whole country, Africa, Asia, Pakistan, Syria, Indonesia, Lebanon, Australia, everywhere. That's right. So I'm not using this to show off with. I'm just saying, now that I have this, and I've been blessed to make $400,000 and $500,000 a night, just 2 or 3 jabs, a hook, or right cross, I come out, I get paid, and I get a bigger kick out of standing right here telling the truth than I do fighting. See, fighting is just a stepping stone to the real fight, which is freedom, justice, and equality for 30 million black people. You've been here 400 years. You fought in the Japanese War, you fought in the Korean War, you fought in the Vietnam War. Listen, the war's over, right? The Viet Cong is more freer than a nigga right now. That same enemy can come here and go where you can't go. That's right. And you've been in 400 years. And this is a serious fight. They've been in Vietnam fighting all these years, and now it's over, but we still ain't free. I just completed a nice little poem concerning this black fella in New Orleans. I don't agree with being violent and shooting up the country because we don't have no weapons. We're not gonna get no freedom being violent against the most powerful country on earth. We don't make no guns, no supersonic jets. I mean, it wouldn't be no chance. But this brother I respect for his feelings on his rooftop in New Orleans, who knew he was gonna die, shooting it out with the whole police force, helicopters, killing people, knowing he was dead. And I wrote a poem and it had a little help on it, but it describes how this man must have felt on that rooftop. It went like this: better far from all I see, to die fighting to be free, what more fitting end could be? Better surely than in some bed where in broken health I'm led, lingering until I'm dead. Better than with prayers and pleas or in the clutch of some disease, wasting slowly by degrees. Better than of heart attack or some dose of drug I lack. Let me die by being black. Better far that I should go, standing here against the foe. Is there sweeter death to know? Better than the bloody stain on some highway where I'm laying, torn by flying glass and pain. Better call in death to come than to die another dumb, muted brother in the slum. Better than of prison rot, if there's any choice I've got. Rather perish on the spot. Better far my fight to wage now while my blood boils with rage, lest it cool with ancient age. Better violent for me to die than to Uncle Tom and try, making peace just to live a lie. Better if I say my sooth, I'm gonna die demanding truth while I'm still akin to youth. Better now than later on, now that fear of death is gone. Never mind another dawn. They got him, but he died first. So one more thing I want to say to the president, I want to say to the staff, to the bank officials there, to all of them, what I'm saying is me. It's got no bearing to do on nothing here, what you all represent.
Okay, we're rolling. Ali, now that we have the social things put in order, let's talk boxing for a few minutes. Number one, will you always want to wipe out that one defeat on your record that was put there by Joe Frazier?
What I'm going to say might shock and amaze you, but I'm the one who retired Joe Frazier.
Ali, looking at Foreman, he's young, he's strong. Would you rather meet him or would you rather meet Frazier first?
George Foreman is young and George Foreman is strong. He should use man roll on.
Is he a serious challenge? Do you
Yeah,
respect his
He's a
ability?
pretty good fella. He's an amateur right now. He beat a washed-up Joe Frazier. I think he needs to prove himself qualified. He's too slow to fight me. Joe Frazier was slow. He wasn't himself. Every time he got knocked down, he ducked and ran right back into him. He was flat-footed. He had no ability. He couldn't dance and move.
That fight, a lot of people were saying that Buckner should not have been able to stay in the ring with you as long as he did.
Pay
Is he
no
that?
attention.
Ali, let's discuss politics in boxing. Is it fair that a man should get the championship and there should be challengers around who could take it from him, yet he is able to sit on it?
No, it's not fair for them to set on the title after having it. But most fighters are not good enough. It's a business. They work all their lives to get there. They luck up, like Frazier luck up and got a break because I didn't go to Vietnam. So he fought it out with a bunch of bums and they gave him the title. Then I whipped Joe Frazier because of the religion, the draft and everything. I ain't Uncle Tom. They gave him the title again. And then George Foreman comes up and luckily whoops out of shape Joe Frazier, who I had finished off. He luckily got the title. They're not really fighting champions who can go in there knowing he's good, no return clauses, meet everybody every other month, like myself. They can't do that. So this is why when they get the title, it's a business. They don't want to lose it. They try to get as much money as they can, and they pick the fights that they think they can win. So I would say fighters like Jack Johnson, fighters like Joe Louis, even Rocky Marciano, Jack Dempsey, they fought every other month, went in saloons looking for fights. They were real fighters. So I would say I'm more like the old type fighters. I fight them all. So I would say fighters like George Foreman and Joe Frazier, I don't think it's fair, but they can get away with it. But after they sat down 2 years, by the time the commissioner forced them to fight, then the other fella done got old. He done lost, or they got to live. So this is why I think fighters should fight every month, fight everybody.
Now, why haven't we seen more heavyweight fights here in Los Angeles? Is there some financial reason that we
I
can't
don't know.
stage them here?
I can't say why you haven't had no fights in Los Angeles. Must be some reason. I don't know why.
Would you fight here if contracted?
I'll fight if contracted and if paid.
Do you have any
I
contractual
like your city and I like your style, but your pay is so cheap, I ain't coming back for a while.
Have you any contractual obligations with Jack Kent Cook
We
after the
have one
Frazier?
with Joe Frazier, but he messed up. He should have let me whip him and got paid for it. He's gonna get whipped anyway. Right, old man? Next month, I'll get him. I might give you a round for him.
Over. Do you want to meet Frazier? Before you hang up those gloves.
I wouldn't want to meet Frazier until he come back and whip George Foreman. I think he should get in shape, get serious, and knock that chump out. And then let him get big and bad again. See, when he whipped me, he was supposed to be so big and bad. Foreman and whipped him, and it knocked a lot of the impact and suspense off. I think he should come back and whip George Foreman. Or Foreman should whip him again, and then whip 4 or 5 more. And then I want Foreman to look like a big bad giant. Then I'm gonna come out and put something on him.
Well, listen, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Can you box? You talk a lot of jokes.
I'm a lover.
Oh,
Thanks, Ali. Appreciate it, baby.
I know you can use 2 minutes of that interview. Now you should get a TV special. You should make them let you have a special and show all that.
I would like to. I'm going to have my entire show tonight at 5:45. So
5:55 on television
7
tonight.
minutes.
You got 7 minutes. Channel 4.
Right. Channel 4, 5:45.
You ain't as dumb as you look.
Hold it. What side you want, baby? This one? Okay. Just reactions. Okay. We're doing some colorway shots.